In today's video, we're going to talk about the US Army's 30,000-pound bomb that the world will fear. The US Air Force's GBU-37AB Massive Ordnance Penetrator, MOP, is a precision-guided 30,000-pound, 14,000-kilogram bunker buster bomb. This is significantly larger than the previous deepest penetrating bunker busters, the 5,000-pound, 2,300-kilogram GBU-28 and GBU-37. Stay till the end of the video to discover the updates that the US Air Force has added to this bunker buster. The Massive Ordnance Penetrator, MOP, is a weapon system designed to carry out a difficult and complicated mission of reaching and destroying an adversary's weapons of mass destruction located in well-defended facilities. In 2002, Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin collaborated on the development of Big Blue, a 30,000-pound, 13,600-kilogram earth-penetrating weapon. However, due to a lack of funding and technical difficulties, the development work was halted. Then, an analysis of the sites attacked with bunker buster bombs after the 2003 invasion of Iraq revealed poor penetration and insufficient levels of destruction. This sparked renewed interest in the development of a larger bunker buster, and the Defense Threat Reduction Agency launched the MOP project to meet a long-standing Air Force requirement. The US Air Force did not state a specific military requirement for an ultra-large bomb, but it does have a concept for a collection of massively sized penetrator and blast weapons, which includes the MOAB, Massive Ordnance Air Blast Bomb. The MOP was developed at the Air Force Research Laboratory Munitions Directorate, Eglin Air Force Base, Florida, with Boeing handling the design and testing. The bomb will be dropped from a B-2 bomber and will be guided by GPS. The B-21 bomber will also be equipped with it. On July 19, 2007, Northrop Grumman announced a $2.5 million stealth bomber refit contract. The B-2s of the US Air Force will be able to carry two 14-ton MOPs each. The first MOP explosive test took place on March 14, 2007 at the White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico in a tunnel owned by the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, DTRA. The United States Air Force then revealed a round of upgrades to the GBU-57, the world's largest conventional bomb. The GBU-57 is a bunker buster that weighs more than an F-35 Joint Strike Fighter. According to reports, the upgrades improve the bomb's ability to break concrete structures while also delivering a high explosive payload. The GBU-57, also known as the Massive Ordnance Penetrator, MOP, was designed to attack hardened concrete structures, especially those underground. The bomb is 20.5 feet long and 31.5 inches in diameter. It weighs a record-breaking 30,000 pounds, thanks to a steel casing that can reportedly penetrate up to 200 feet of concrete with a 5,000-pound per square inch reinforcement (PSI). The explosive makes up only 6,000 pounds of the big bomb's weight, according to the military analysis site Global Security. The underground command and control sites in Iran and North Korea are examples of the types of places MOP would target. Both countries have gone to great lengths to keep their nuclear activities and delivery systems hidden underground, and MOP was designed to put them in jeopardy, or, if necessary, destroy them. The latest round of updates, according to an email from the US Air Force to Bloomberg, improved the performance against hard and deeply buried targets. This most likely means that the bomb's 200-foot penetration capability is a thing of the past, and that it can go even deeper. Put another way, the bomb can now include a more powerful explosive filler to inflict more damage once it reaches its underground target. The Aviationist published an account of an airplane spotter in Missouri who observed a B-2 Spirit bomber exercise in October 2017. The bombers were practicing attacking a command post, possibly DPRK leadership relocation site, according to the report. North Korea has 6,000 to 8,000 underground facilities across the country, at least some of which would be used by the country's leadership to avoid air raids in the event of a war. The assassination of North Korea's leadership, particularly Kim Jong-un, is seen as a critical step in preventing the use of the country's nuclear arsenal. MOP was almost certainly used to target and eliminate Kim and his entourage during the October 2017 exercises. It's unclear how many MOPs of various variants, or how many MOPs in total, are available for operational use. The prime contractor, Boeing, has delivered 20 of the bombs as of September 2011, but it has known that additional orders have been placed and that a number of the weapons have been used in various tests since then. The total number of weapons available is likely to have increased in recent years. The service announced in February 2018 that it would purchase an unspecified number of additional complete MOPs from Boeing all of which would have been in the GBU-37EB configuration. Bloomberg had reported a month before that the MOP's fourth upgrade program was complete and that existing bombs in the stockpile were also being retrofitted. It's also unclear how the GBU-37EB variant is different from previous MOPs. The EB variant improves the ability to penetrate concrete structures and deliver the high explosive payload. Ilka Cole, Chief of Media Operations for the 96th Test Wing's Public Affairs Office at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida, told the Warzone via email. The Air Force Lifecycle Management Center's Armament Directorate, which is in charge of the MOP program, is also based at Eglin. The MOP project began in 2002, and early publicly available graphics show the bomb being able to burrow down to 60 feet to reach its target. According to an official Air Force news story from 2007, this capability has been increased to 200 feet. It's unclear whether this maximum depth includes penetrating through layers of reinforced concrete. Whatever the exact capabilities of the GBU-37EB are, it seems reasonable to assume that it can penetrate deeper than the MOP variants available in 2007. We know that the inert blue 127CB has a booster in the forward portion of the warhead, but it's unclear whether this refers to a system that physically propels that section for added penetration, such as a rocket motor or an explosive charge that simply accelerates the detonation of the main charge. To strike at particularly deeply buried and hardened facilities, such as Iran's nuclear facilities at Fordo, the increased penetration would be required. The main portions of this site are said to be around 295 feet underground, with multiple feet of reinforced concrete protecting them. Before we get into the reasons why the US built this 30,000-pound bomb, be sure to subscribe to the channel to enjoy more content like this. Of course, there is no indication that the US is actively planning a strike on any of Iran's underground nuclear and ballistic missile sites. In 2018, the US withdrew from the Iran deal, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA. Since then, the remaining parties, primarily France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, have fought to keep the agreement alive. Iran has consistently attempted to exert pressure on those countries to make concessions, particularly as US sanctions have become more severe. It's also worth noting that the US developed the MOP to address potential threats that aren't limited to Iran. North Korea, which has grown increasingly frustrated with the lack of progress in its own negotiations with the US government over sanctions, also has extensive underground facilities. During a larger-scale conventional conflict against potential peer adversaries such as China or Russia, the GBU-57 series could be useful for engaging deep, hardened targets. With all of this in mind, it's no surprise that the Air Force is working to keep upgrading the MOP and bring its existing inventory up to the most up-to-date, deepest penetrating standard possible. Let us know what you think about this bomb in the comments section, and be sure to check out our video on the United States lethal laser weapon.